Hello and welcome to MHF people. Welcome to another stream where we talk about Champions League football. Arsenal in the Champions League. Arteta talk, as Martin said, that people on Husam's stream saying that Arteta should be sacked for some whatever reason. Nottingham Forest are in real danger. Wolfie is releasing a video every day saying that he's worried. He's not so confident and a lot of that stuff. I'm just glad to stream with Wolfie again after like weeks of him being busy. But listen, Husam is going to be joining us. Hit that like button, people, if you're here. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, of course. You know what? Let me see what is going on. But listen, people, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. How's everyone doing?
Great, mate.
You got Wolfie.
Long day. Long day, man.
Villa won. I told you Newcastle will win. Villa won. Man City won. Where are you?
Everton should have won, you know. Everton should have won. They played well until they made that stupid injury substitution with Keane coming on, ruined the game. Yeah, long day, man. Long day.
Long day for who? Where are you now on the table? Are you fifth or fourth?
Fifth.
Oh, you're fifth. 13 points as Villa. Oh.
Yeah, but we got a game over everyone. Against Spurs. Come on.
Tomorrow.
Monday.
You're
Monday.
confident. You're confident.
Not on Spurs because that's my brother's team, man. And like me and him all weekend, we've been at it. So I need to beat Spurs. I need 6 points from Spurs this season. But yeah, it's
you and Deji have written a lot
he
of
looks Broski, he looks stressed.
No, I'm not stressed. I'm tired, bro. Bro, you know I've been on like 5 streams today. I got to get up at 8 o'clock to go for my under-14s football tomorrow, man. And it's like long days, man. 3 kids, work and everything, yeah. I haven't had time to think about Forest. Forest haven't kicked a ball in 9 days, man. In 9 days. It's been a little bit of a relief, but man, there's more to life. You boys know there's more to life we have than YouTube, man. Don't feel like it sometimes, though. Don't feel like it.
Only for YouTube. That's what I live for. It's my livelihood.
Those life.
Yeah, all right, bro. You know, not all of us are sitting there at the top of the tree and all this stuff. Yeah, but you're in the Chelsea pie and the Arsenal pie and all this stuff. Yeah,
you are in that. You have more subscribers than me.
I don't know.
Than me.
I got 25. 25.
Yeah. I swear he was doing
25K, not 25 subscribers. Yeah.
I'm
rolling your eyes.
My man had like 1,000 people tuning into his stream when he was losing, bro. he was losing the other day, and there's 1,000 people come. You're a celebrity. You know
Bro,
that. You're a
you know
celebrity
what? There's
everywhere.
more people WhatsApping me these days, right? When we're losing, than there is in the stream, man. It's like, why haven't you answered? Because you probably got the busy tone from the other fucker that was calling me as well, man, at the same time.
Bro.
Yeah. It's all good,
What-
bro. It's all good.
What are we saying about Forest though? What are we saying about Forest?
Ask me Tuesday night. Because things have changed. Things
No,
have
but
changed.
you have to say your opinion about confidence or not.
I will tell you now, right? I will tell you now. I have no idea who's getting top 5. No idea. There was
couple of
this
weeks
little.
ago he was. By the way, a couple of weeks ago he was. Bro.
No. I haven't said
You know
Forest.
that-
Asmani. I haven't said Forest and not. I said I don't know who's getting top 5. That's 5 teams I've got a name.
You were sure. You were sure.
No, I'm still sure on my team. What I'm saying is I don't know who the other 4 are. This is suddenly gone crazy race, man. This is like crazy stuff
I
right
You're
now.
going to finish above Arsenal.
I thought he was finished second the other day.
I said above Arsenal. I still think we finish above Arsenal.
Okay.
Who finishes above Arsenal?
Forest.
And who else?
Could be should have been Newcastle if they didn't mess up today. But we'll see. I mean, you're still playing Newcastle, aren't you? You got Newcastle in a couple of weeks.
Probably. I don't know. I've stopped paying attention to the Premier League.
But that's my point. Arsenal are all focused on PSG now. Pray for PSG. So, league is the league. It is what it is for Arsenal. But realistically, 2nd to 5th, man, we're all fighting for the exact same prize. It doesn't matter what numbers by your name. But it'll be funnier if we finish ahead of Arsenal.
Wouldn't
It
you
is
rather
funny, though.
get like Europa or Conference League and like step your way up rather than just going
No.
all the
You
way
see,
to the Champions League?
what Arsenal fans don't understand is we've already made that step up twice, back-to-back times. Yeah, we don't need to build up.
But nothing exists at the club from the time when you won the Champions League, right? Like none
Bro,
of the players are there, none of the managers.
Nothing
are there,
existed. It still doesn't exist at Arsenal. I mean, I know you've put this Real Madrid trophy in the cabinet thing. I get that, right?
It's
But
still waiting
it
for
still hasn't got you a star. That's what I'm saying. I don't need to jump from conference to Europa when I've done it twice before.
But those
man.
stars, they can't play in goal for you. They can't score goals for you. They're just like decorations in your club. Like
But they have aura.
long
They have
history
aura.
ago.
They have aura, bro.
Who has aura?
The stars. Stars have aura, man. Stars have aura.
No, Wolfie, you think anyone if you make Champions League next season, you think people will look at Nottingham Forest like that's a Champions League winner, we should fear them?
Respect.
That's called the aura.
Respect.
Nobody would do. Nobody would do. I'm being honest.
I hope not. I hope not. Because that's where we do our stuff. I hope not. But they should.
Skull X is asking for Chelsea fans. There is a rarity of them nowadays, by the way. I'm telling you, Skull X. Because someone is asking about Chelsea fans. They're a little they're gone a little
quiet,
bit rare.
bro. They're quiet.
They're done a little bit rare. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like quiet.
They're
Remember when
gonna
they were
let it
going to
quiet.
overtake Liverpool? Yeah.
You know, it
Christmas
was
time.
everywhere. You remember everywhere, bro. You remember that we turned around. There's a Chelsea fan that wanted to come on the street.
Or you can go to the toilet without bumping into one. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like,
Chelsea fans were everywhere, bro. They were everywhere. And then they just kind of hid, like, what are the Chelsea fans? Oh, well,
they're all hiding behind Palmer, innit? They can't get
we don't know if we do this, if the players do that, if we get the signings right, if we do this and that. Chelsea fans have turned into, the funniest part, if our players do their job, I think will be good. Well, that's everyone. Brentford can say the same. Brentford can say, if our players do their job, they can be good. And everyone can say that. Everyone can say this.
Yeah, if I was a little bit smarter and a little bit better looking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like...
That man, it's Salma Hayek or something, yeah, probably. Big up the wife, though. Big up the wife,
man. I punched above my weight and everything. You get me? But still, like, ifs, buts, and maybes, man. If buts and maybes.
Yeah, 100%. Really, Chelsea fans are like, bro, they kind of hid somewhere.
I can't tell the difference between Chelsea fans and Arsenal fans these days. Wallahi, man. They're all...
now you're being a little...
I'm not, man, because they all seem to gaslight the same things. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Chelsea fans are saying they would have completed Europe when they win this Conference League, which, by the way, didn't they lose that second? I didn't even know they were playing. Apparently, I heard they lost to Walsall or
Legia Warsaw, yeah.
Legia
Warsaw. Oh, I
Warsaw,
thought
bro.
Walsall
Legia
from up north, but no, right, okay.
No,
Yeah,
Legia
so
Warsaw,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying? Like
I think it's one of those
Chelsea,
ones where the train goes through the ground like at half time. There's like a passenger train that stops on one side.
yeah. Someone's asking where Forest are in the Premier League table. I mean, like that's probably a Chelsea fan with that kind of spelling. I get it, but still. But yeah, no, you know what we can say, and we can all agree on. At least this has made it interesting, exciting, and everything for what is a dead season.
Sam, here's what Wolfie say.
Hi guys.
Salam,
Hello.
Habibi, how are you?
By the way,
No,
Wolfie,
I
quick
love-
message to you from City Martin. He says Morgan Gibbs White would look a lot better in blue.
Hey, you do know our away kit is the Man City kit this season.
There you are. See, I told you I'm gonna say it, Martin.
You know, I love football fans when they turn from we're gonna finish above Arsenal, we're gonna be in the Champions League too. By the way, it looks so interesting right now, the top 5 challenge.
Oh, you telling me it's not? You telling me it's not?
No, it is not. No, you're speaking facts. It is interesting.
I
but
was
you know,
speaking in the facts, man.
I'm speaking facts. Like turning from we definitely Champions League in the bag, our owners will spend blah 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 to like actually the it is very interesting.
Wait. When have I said we're not gonna get Champions League? That's the thing you're kind of admitting here.
Yeah, I am. It's implying. You're implying. Are you joking?
I have not implied it
You're
because you
literally
tried that
implying.
earlier when you said, "Oh, you're doing
You
things
are-
top
you
five." I said,
are-
"No, I don't know who the top 5 is
Okay, let me
alongside us."
Let me ask Sam, your friend. Sam is your friend, right? Sam is your friend.
Marat.
Sam is your friend. If someone turning from we're gonna definitely make Champions League to we are it's interesting race now. What is that
I'm
implying?
gonna make one statement before I just go get some water and come back. Here's the thing.
Mm.
So, Wolfie is a fraud, chat. Wolfie is a fraud. This is Wolfie a month ago. We're coming for that Arsenal second place. We're gonna finish above Arsenal. Ashraf, you see you. I'm coming for you. When 3 games from now, we're gonna be above Arsenal.
I didn't say 3 games. Kadhab.
Be quiet.
Kadhab.
We're gonna be above Arsenal. Just watch what Nuno Santo is doing. We're gonna be above him.
Is he still manager of the season now for you?
Yeah, after all these results,
Yeah.
he's sat here.
It's definitely Eddie Howe.
You want to know what it is, guys?
Bro,
The
Eddie
top
Howe's
4
like
race-
sick, man.
Top
What
4
you
race
say?
is interesting. It's like I think Forest went from a title race to a top 4 race. That's very interesting and very. Why are you changing your energy, Habibi? You were in a title race according to your own self.
Wait. Are you going with the double standards? Were you in a title race say March last year?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the difference from me saying in December, January we're in a title race to what you were saying?
You think I changed my energy? Mo, what did I say Liverpool did last season?
Yeah, Habibi, they were top of the league. You were never top of. You were never even second.
Did they win the title?
No, but they were top of the league.
Okay,
That's the definition
so definitionally, when you were saying they were in a title race, you're correct. I'm not. By the way, I'm not arguing with you. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah. So me saying
Wolfie,
in December, wait. Me saying in December and January. No. Mathematically, positionally, we were in a title race. Whether you like it or not, whether you think we were going to win it or not. And by the way, I never said we were going to win it. I said we were in a title race.
You were never in a title race. The word title, the word we are in title race.
Define title race. Define title race. Define it.
You have a chance of winning it.
Okay, how do you have a chance of winning a title?
By being in a title race.
Okay, so define a title race. We're back. This is a circular argument you're doing here.
Was Chelsea in a title race?
Or Chelsea in a title race? I'm the only one who said Chelsea are not in a title race.
Chelsea were definitionally in a title race in December. Were they not? They were 2 points behind Liverpool.
No.
So when Chelsea were 2 points behind Liverpool, they were not definitionally in a title race. Is that what you're telling me?
Me? See, you're asking Mo.
No,
Mo
I'm
said-
not asking you. I'm saying
Mo-
talk with definitions.
I need a minute, Husam. Okay, my definition. I don't get. Okay, you're asking Mo. Are you asking somebody else? You're asking me. Is that correct? So I'm
Okay,
defining
but
the
I want a
title race.
definition. أول حاجة, I
I'm
want a
giving you.
definition. Okay.
For me, the teams that are in the title race are the teams that I think that's my title race that can win the title. I didn't think that Chelsea, and Chelsea fans can attest to this. I said that Chelsea are not in a title race. Yeah, we press people to ask them if they think they're on title race. But every time I was asked if Chelsea were in a title race, I said that Chelsea are not because I don't give them a chance of winning the title. So that is my definition. When you ask me, were Liverpool in a title race last season? I said yes. Why? Because I believed that they can win the title. If you ask me, Arsenal were in a title race this season, yes, because I believe that Arsenal. That is most definition. Your definition mathematically.
No.
Okay, let me just finish now because I'm gonna let you talk. Let me finish. Your definition of a title race is that everyone that was mathematically possible to win the league is in a title race. That is what you're telling me.
No,
So
it's not.
everyone that's what you said.
It's
What
not
is your
what I said.
definition of a title race?
It's not what I said. Firstly, you gave us who you think can win the title. I
100%.
gave you a definition of the title. I said mathematically and positionally. Those are my two criteria.
And I ask
for
you a
the title
question.
race.
In September, when everyone has a chance of winning the title, do you believe that everyone is in a title race? Because
No,
mathematically,
did you hear one of
everyone-
my definition points? Positionally. Positionally, I
what?
said yes.
and
positionally.
I'm telling you, at some point, Manchester United were mathematically and positionally.
When were they positionally?
They were position 6 at some point, and they mathematically could have won the title.
Okay, so by definition, they would have been
Yeah.
in a title race, yes or not? You have to agree with that.
By your definition, not
No,
by definition, by
okay.
your definition.
No, but you haven't given
Okay,
me a
this is
definition.
ridiculous.
You've told
I
me.
literally give
No, you didn't. You told me who you think could
Okay,
win
I'm
the
going to
title.
tell you something. Title race is a very subjective thing. It is not an objective thing. It's a very subjective to everyone's opinion.
Okay, so
Because
is
there
my
is no-
subjective opinion wrong?
In my opinion, it is wrong. And in your opinion, my opinion
Your
is wrong.
subjective opinion
how
is
about-
wrong.
Your subjective opinion is wrong.
How can it be wrong if it's subjective?
Because let me ask a question that will end this debate.
Go on.
By your definition, that will end it. By your definition, do you believe that minute one in the Premier League, minute one, no one played, everyone is positionally and mathematically can win the title?
I didn't say that because positionally, you would have
Yeah,
to look at the
Habibi.
table.
I'm telling you, day one, after first game, that's positionally and mathematically, everyone can win the league. Do you believe every team is in a title race? That's by your
Because
definition.
not every team after game one are
So-
going to be
so
1,
you-
2, 3, and
So you
4, are
have
they?
to, so you have to, I need you to add then a timeline. Tell me, at this time
I
of the year,
didn't. I don't need to add a timeline.
we're going in
because I've said
circles, Wolfie, and I know
positionally.
they understand.
No, because I've said positionally. Positionally doesn't mean 1 to 20. That's the point.
Okay,
I
Brentford.
think it requires.
Hold
I
on,
think it
this is-
requires some kind of like belief that said team has the form and the capability to go on and win. Like you have to.
100%.
be
Yeah,
able to
yeah,
envisage
but
it really.
that's not the point. The point is, I'm talking objectively. Whether Mo thinks Forest could or couldn't have
That
won a
is
title,
wrong.
or
That is
Chelsea
wrong.
could or couldn't have won a title, objectively, for example, when Chelsea were 2 points behind Liverpool, I think it was in December, they objectively were in a title race. Saying you're in a title race does not mean that I think Chelsea will win the league or I think Forest will win the league. It's a definition. That's what he's not understanding.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I want
okay.
you guys to be in a title race because it means you bottled the title race. Like you have to bottle it, right? Like once you're in it and you don't win it, you bottled it. So Chelsea bottled
Yeah,
the
but
title.
it wasn't a
Okay,
93%.
let me ask an objective question, right?
Go on.
On match day 2, Brighton won back-to-back games and they were 6 points, second on the table, behind Man City. Were Brighton at that time in a title race?
Objectively speaking, by the definition, yes.
Okay, again. Okay, that's you. Okay, fine. Great. You won the debate.
I didn't think it was really a debate, bro. I thought it was more a discussion.
You won the discussion. That is your.
It's not about here to win or lose,
that
bro.
is your
We're here to entertain and to learn.
If I ask you that, give me where it says that is your objective, that is an objective opinion, I will concede.
So you don't think that the criteria I've put are objective, because what you're saying is subjective, because you've said
I believe the word title race is subjective. Okay, let's just establish something.
Okay.
I believe that the word title race is a very subjective thing, because I'm going to give you an example.
I agree.
Before you go on. The word title race is subjective. Some people say that I only count the teams that are in a title race, that after the season, I would say this team was in a title race. If comes game week 34, they have a chance of winning the title. I believe that at that time, that some other people say in January, the teams in the top 3, if the difference between them is this, that's a title race. That is a subjective opinion. Objective, there's no objective opinion about a title race, Wolf. There's no
Yeah,
objective
no, I
opinion.
agree. But what I'm saying the overarching thing is a subjective one. Yeah. What I'm saying is I'm giving you objective definitions
Yeah,
within that to say, yes, I am. Because I'm saying it
It's not
needs to be positionally and mathematically. That's what I've
So
said.
Brighton and game week. So Brighton
Okay,
and game
so
week
let me
2
ask
were
you
in the
this.
title
Are
race.
Fulham in a top 5 race?
Yes,
Not anymore.
Why?
because I actually think that Fulham can get title race.
Because
Because I think that Fulham can get top 5.
because
That's my belief. My belief. The way I watch them, the number of points, where they are in the league, the game week we are now. We are actually have 5 games left or 6 games for some teams. So I believe that Fulham can get a top 5. So I believe that Fulham are in a top 5 race.
okay, good. So you are using some criteria there on that one.
100%. 100%.
Not as much as I would like you to. Okay, our
I don't know why
Crystal
you guys are
Palace,
even
our
arguing
Crystal
this.
I
Palace
don't
in
know
the
why
top
you're
5.
moving around. You know, I'm
There wasn't even a title race this season, so there's no point really having.
I'm
this
gonna.
discussion.
I need to step out for 2 minutes. So just Sam, can you take over, please? 2 minutes. Sam,
I'll start the clock.
he's actually like just.
He's useless, is what he is.
I'm saying,
He's on mute
can
for
I
a
get the
start.
grip of what this conversation is about first? Because
He's
we're talking
saying that any team that Forest were in a title race because positionally they were. I asked him, do you think Brighton in game week 2, when they were 6 points and they were second on the table, they won back-to-back games.
yeah, but when United were second under Oli, would you say they were in a title race? Because
He thinks yes.
It depends. Were they still mathematically in a title race?
Majority
So
of the
your
season
whole
they
thing is
were.
mathematically. That's it.
Huh?
Your whole thing is just mathematically.
No, I
that's
said
it.
mathematically and positionally. That you told me their position was second, so you've answered that criteria. I'm saying, what were they mathematically?
So positionally, they were second.
Yeah, but what were they
So if a
mathematically?
team was like 7 points behind, so let's say next season starts, we're 10 games in, City are 8th, but they're 7 points behind, 6 points behind. Would you say they're in a title race?
No. Not until they
Why?
got themselves into the top 4. Then they'd be in a title race. People can get into title races and drop out of title races.
But you don't think the team's caliber matters?
Not when you're talking
Because
objectively.
some teams, regardless, like let's say next season, I don't know, Leeds were in 3rd, even in match week 26, I wouldn't say they're capable of winning the league.
Would you have said that about Leicester in January when they won the league?
Yeah, but you're talking about the anomaly. We're talking about the actual.
No. This is
Leicester
why
were
it's not an
first.
anomaly. It's because
It
it's
is an anomaly.
It's more
It's an
objective.
anomaly
than your
for a
subjective.
reason, Habibi. It's an anomaly for a reason.
Why is
You're
it an
using the
anomaly?
one example. What's your next example? Blackburn Rovers. Come on, man.
You can use Blackburn if you want.
Well,
When
those are the two anomalies. Those are
when
not.
Forest were bottom of the championship, were they in a promotion race?
Habibi, I need you to understand something. Even if you're doing a scientific experiment, okay? When you have 2 outliers, you don't use them as measuring sticks because they're outliers. You use the regular data that you get most of the time as the measuring stick. Now, 90% of the time, actually not 90% of the time, an even bigger chance. So 28, what 28? How long has the Premier League been in inception? It's 1992, it's 2025. In 23 years, we've had 2 anomaly winners. So 21 follows the rule. The 2 don't follow the rule. Why should I use the 2 as the
No,
measuring stick?
because
and ignore the 21?
mine follows the rule with no anomalies.
Because I'll give you an example. The reason why I asked about City are a caliber of team that are in the title race, even if they're 8th but 6 points behind.
Yeah, but you're completely missing the point, aren't you?
Tell
I
me.
have said that teams can fall into title races or fall out of title races. Would you agree?
I
with
agree
that?
you can fall out of them, but not fall into them. That's
Of course, you can fall into them.
Now, what are you going to tell me again? Leicester,
Jump into
Blackburn?
them.
No, I'm just saying if a team, if say Liverpool 2 months ago lost every game and Man City won every game, would Man City not have fallen back into a title race?
Not really, because then Arsenal would win the league.
Bro, Man City would have overtaken. Forget Arsenal. I'm just talking. Forget the people in the middle. If Liverpool By
Yeah,
the
but
way,
City's caliber this season are not a title-winning caliber. That's my point.
but if they went on WWWW or you went on LLLL, would they have fallen back into a title race?
By a points definition, yes, but they're not a caliber of a
Okay.
title-winning
And
team.
so imagine they ended up winning it. At some point,
So
they
your
would have
whole
won the
reason
title
behind
race.
saying Forest are in a title race is just points.
No, points and position.
Points and position. Okay, so the only thing that I disagree with you on is just sometimes when there's a caliber of team that you expect to be up there, like even if they're 8th but 6 points behind, I'm not going to rule them out. Like I would
Okay, so you
let's
could
say
put
next
that under
season-
the points.
Give you an
You
example.
could put
Honest
that under
example.
the points thing, and
Let's
obviously
say
that
Liverpool-
point stretches
10
as the
games.
season goes on.
Let me give you a genuine example. 10 games
Yeah.
into the season. 10 games into the season, Forest are top of the league. Liverpool are 3 points behind Forest, but City are 8th. Hello?
Mhm.
If City played Forest that weekend, I would want Forest to beat City. Because the caliber of Manchester City is a title-winning caliber, despite them being 6 points behind us. So I'd rather have the opportunity to go 9 points ahead of Manchester City. You get what I'm saying? That's
I
why
get what
earlier
you're
on this
saying,
season,
but
even when
again,
City,
like you're
but let me
doing
just
all
tell you
this
point.
stuff
Even earlier on
about
this season, even
semantics.
when City was dropping points, I kept doing City hate watch. So to
Yeah,
perceive them-
look, I'm with you. All I'm saying is that I have not said anything definitionally incorrect. That's what you guys aren't getting through your head.
Let's move on from this conversation.
Yeah. Because there's been no
Let's move on.
suspense. There's no title race this year. It's not even worth talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, what are we talking? We're talking about Arsenal or Forest or whatever.
I don't know.
What Martin was saying about people saying Arteta out despite winning the Champions League is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
this
see
was
it,
just
just
on
said it.
Husam show.
I think that is the craziest thing
Don't
I've
see
said
Wait,
in
what
my
was said?
life.
What was it?
He wants Arteta out, even if he wins the Champions League.
When he wins the Champions League, he wants him gone.
What's wrong with that?
There you are.
Because we haven't won a Champions League. It would be ridiculous to like give the guy who's just won the prize that we've been striving for and haven't touched, just to sack him straight away. It would be crazy.
Okay, but don't Spurs fans want Ange out even if he wins the Europa League?
But he's
Well,
17,
that's
he's
the Europa
15th
League.
in the league.
So
He's
what?
and Europa
They haven't
League
won
is
a
not the
trophy
Champions
since
League.
2008. This would get them
But-
Champions League football. It's all relative.
But Europa League is different than the Champions League. Winning the Champions League,
Europa
playing,
League gets you Champions League even if you're 17th in the table.
winning Champions League wins you Champions League. Doesn't get you Champions League. It
I
wins
know,
you
bro.
the
I've won
competition.
2 of them,
And
bro.
you wanna get in. Like
Look,
it wins you the competition. It
I
doesn't
don't
get you in the
understand. Look,
competition.
the point with this, whether or not you think someone's right or wrong, why are they not allowed to have that opinion? That's what I don't
Because
understand.
because it's wrong.
Why is it wrong? So when Man U won the FA Cup last season, you had all
FA
the
Cup is not the Champions League. What are we
again.
doing
You're
here?
not being relative to the situation.
Oh my God!
You're not being
How is
relative to the situation.
No, this is no. How is Arsenal wanting Arteta out after he wins the Champions League? It's so different than winning Europa League and being 15th in the league. Winning the Champions League is better. Winning the Champions League is better than winning the league. If Arteta
Agreed.
is fourth in the league and he wins the Champions League, he still has to be given time because it's the definition of you won the best
So why did
competition in the
Chelsea
world.
sack? Wasn't it Di Matteo after he won the Champions League?
They sacked him the
That's
season
crazy.
after, and Di Matteo was in term. And Di Matteo is different. Di Matteo came halfway through the season. He hasn't been at the club for a while. It is different. What are we doing here?
It's
How
not
is that even a
different, bro. It's
conversation?
about circumstances, man. I'm saying
not a
I'm not necessarily agreeing with the point, but I'm saying why is there this policing system that
Because
he
it's
can't-
crazy.
Why is it crazy? Why is it crazy? Because
I'm
you're
telling you-
ignoring the example I gave you of Spurs. Spurs have stunk it out. Okay, if they go and win the Europa League title and get Champions League football, the
Because they are
likelihood is
freaking
Ange
15th.
stays. Ange
Because they are
stays in.
15th.
Do you get it?
Because
But Ange staying in would be more detrimental for Spurs in spite of him getting them Champions League football.
And Arteta winning the Champions League is definitely like, bro, like it's the definition of success. You want your manager
Agreed.
successful.
Agreed. But I'm saying, what was his reasons for wanting Arteta out?
I don't know. Martin can tell you.
I think he just said, what was it, Husam? That it was like he doesn't think he can take us any further.
He
than
basically
that or
said
something.
until when the pain will finish and stuff like this. That even if us winning the Champions League doesn't mean that we can go to win league titles and etc.
He went on a bit of a rant. There's a lot of
who
Arsenal
gives
fans.
a fuck about winning the league if you win the Champions League? Who gives a shit?
Well, there's a lot
But
of
you
Arsenal
can't
fans
talk
that
for
seem to
him.
be pained
You can't talk
that
for
they
him.
were-
That's what I'm saying. You can debate his points. Yeah. I'm
It's
not
like
in agreement.
Liverpool
By the way,
fans-
I'm not in agreement. I'm not in agreement. But you can't
It
just
sounds
poo-poo
like
someone's
you are.
opinion. No,
It's like-
I'm not. Because
Do you
you're
think
like,
so?
oh, how can he do that?
Okay,
How can
so-
I'm saying,
so
what
you-
are the reasons?
Do you think his opinion is wrong or right?
I don't agree with his opinion, but I agree with his
There
right
you
to
go.
have that opinion.
Hey, everyone's opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one.
Yeah, but if
I wanna
you
say
came
this,
to
though.
me,
Wait.
if you came to me and you said that the reason he wanted Arteta out was because I don't know,
Yeah.
Arteta's fallen out with the board, or he will refuse to buy a striker despite winning the Champions. Then I could say, okay, he's got a
Can I
valid
ask
reason.
another
there.
question, Wolfie? If Arteta reaches, I'm going to ask a very objective and a plausible situation. If Arteta reaches the Champions League final and loses on penalty, do you
Bottle
think we should sack him?
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd want him out. Yeah.
There seems to be a fair chunk of the fan base that resent Arteta for getting us in title races and not winning. They seem to be happier people when they were just like floating around 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, you know, like they don't want to get their hopes up. Because now we got their hopes up, they're mad at him that they got close and they didn't win. Whereas I look at that as being part of the procedure of getting to the top is you don't win this. You don't just like step into winning and then win 6 in a row. You're there or thereabouts, and then you break the duck. So I don't know. It's just different people, different strokes. It was just a crazy thing to hear.
No, but what you just said there, Martin, is debunked by Slot. That's the problem you got with that opinion.
What?
That is part of the process. It builds up and what have you. Slot just came straight in and won the league.
Well, Slot's team is very different to what we started with. So if you're dealing with already a team full of world-class players, then yeah, the
No, but you
expectation
can't
might be
do that because at the start of the season, everyone was saying when City fall off, it has to be Arsenal.
At the start of the season, I was saying Liverpool was second and Man City was third. This is my prediction. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not talking. I'm talking. You got to agree. The consensus was that, though. The consensus was that.
The consent. I don't know what the consent. Most of the people that say stuff online and on YouTube are complete like baffling statements. So yeah, I don't know what the consensus was, but I expected Liverpool to be in the title race. I thought they should have won it last year when they fell off, and I don't think that Arsenal has like a divine right to like step up if City fall off.
Agreed.
We weren't that good a team, right? Like we were just competing out of our skins to be in a title race with them. I don't think that we were like the best team and we're going to walk into it if City fell off.
Yeah, but you do agree Slot has moved Liverpool forward quicker than Arteta.
Well, I said
has.
this to Husam the other day. I don't actually know what Slot has done and what he hasn't done. He's basically not done Klopp things and used exactly the same team as Klopp had, right? He has got no extra players. He hasn't used Chiesa at all. I don't know what Slot's going to be like when he needs to build a team up. I know what Arteta's like when he needs to build a team up because he started with Rob Holding and Callum Chambers and Monreal or whatever, right? But I don't know what Slot's going to do. I think that Slot has done exactly what I thought would happen, was that Liverpool would be in contention because they've got very good players that win matches regardless of who the coach is.
Yeah, but also when you say you don't know what Slot has done, I think there's one thing you could say very clearly that Slot did that Klopp didn't do, and he saw a 6 in Gravenberch, for example, and that revolutionized their midfield.
If that's what you think, I don't necessarily agree that it's been that much of a revolution. It was good at the start, but certain things happen when new managers come in that are unpredictable, right? Like Ange won 10 games in a row and everyone thought he was better than Sir Alex Ferguson, and Slot's gone and won the league. But then Maresca's like, who was in a title race, and now he's crap. Like this, I think this be over a longer time span before I can understand what exactly Slot has done, rather than just Liverpool being already in that position to challenge for a league.
I think that's harsh on Slot, and I think you're giving Arteta too much rope.
I do think it's a bit too harsh on Slot because we have to bring expectations and predictions into all of this as well. Because once again, it's like when you say, like, okay, Arsenal don't have a God-given right to win the league if City fell off. You're correct, but you also need to be objective. All 4 of us were on MHF in August, and I said, guys, City are going to be crap this season. including myself, even as the Liverpool fan, I would have said Arsenal are going to win the league. That's the thing. So
Yeah, but
City
I look
did
at
fall off.
the previous
And
season.
Igal actually mentioned this. This is one of his frustrations this season, is the fact that, okay, City did fall off, but it still wasn't us type thing. And I think it's very important to acknowledge that, okay, City did fall off. We can all acknowledge that, whether it's the injuries, whatever it is, maybe Pep getting outmanaged here and there, like whatever reason you want to put, wrong spending, structure, they fell off and it's not you. And the games where everyone was fit and you still didn't win is a problem. And on top of that, the Odegaard injury was used as an excuse before the Saka injury. We're talking about the Odegaard injury period. And then Odegaard comes back and he's actually the worst player on the pitch against Madrid. Kivior is performing better than him. So it doesn't make it a valid excuse. It's like it's essentially like watching Szoboszlai, like watching Odegaard. I'm actually being serious. That first half against Real Madrid, the guy had three simple layoff passes to Saka. You see this
so much with this Odegaard thing. Do they have
Saka was
nothing
like
else?
this at Madrid. You could have seen that
crazy.
3 times if Odegaard could pass properly. You know this.
Look, Odegaard has not been his sparkling self, right? Where he was getting 10 plus goals and assists a season, but he's still like my captain of the team. He still leads that team. He still leads them out of possession. We're the best out of possession team in Europe, right? I think there's a lot more to it than just, Odegaard didn't make that one pass to Saka. I mean, here's a perfect example. I was watching the replay of people doing live streams, and the amount of people that told Odegaard to shoot right before he passed it to Marino, who passed it to Saka, they were pissed off that he didn't shoot from 30 yards with his left foot and put a top bin. It's like the expectation is there for him to do some kind of screamer and carry the team. And if he doesn't do that, he's the worst player on the field. I think it's just there's a crazy agenda going on with Odegaard. I just don't want to get involved in it.
He's had a stinker this season.
You're saying it's an agenda, but he
season.
honestly was dreadful. He was honestly dreadful against Madrid. Why can't you acknowledge
I don't agree. Because even in the second half, he did a perfect through ball through 5 players for Saka to be one-on-one, and he didn't score it. Like, no one mentions it. No one puts it in a thing. They'll just be like, oh, well, he didn't do that one through ball.
Okay, and then
I'm
reverse, we're
already mad at
mentioning
him.
the ones that he messed up. So it's both ways.
And they outweigh
It's
the
happened with
good
every
things he
player.
did.
You're not successful every time.
Because at the time, it was
Odegaard
still
is ridiculous.
0-0 in the game. Like the first half one, where it's simple layoff passes.
Look, I think it's just Arsenal fans love to have a scapegoat. Regardless, there needs to be a scapegoat, and at the moment it's Odegaard, and before it was Xhaka, and before that it was El Neni or whatever. Like, there's always someone who they're going to be dunking on, even if we're winning everything. They need that feeling of like we've got a crap player. But Odegaard, he's technically the best player on the team as far as like with the football at his feet. He can take on 4 or 5 people and make a pass. I don't know what people are actually trying to say. I think you said on the stream he's a crap player like a second ago. People are going way.
Yeah, this season he's been absolutely dreadful. I said he's literally
a terrible
like
player. Like, I don't understand. Are we watching football or are people just like trying to rush agendas on this guy?
Okay,
It's just what you see.
When
It's like if you look at
someone says he's a
Foden,
crap
he's had a
player,
stinker.
I just need to explain something. When someone says he's a crap player, we're not comparing Odegaard to the number 10 that plays for Southampton. We're talking about for Odegaard standards. We're talking about what we have used to seeing. Meaning, give you an example. Remember what Wolfie just talking about Forest. Chris Wood is on 18 goals. Okay? If Chris Wood next April is on 5 goals, we're going to say Chris Wood is crap. Yes or no, Wolfie?
Yep.
I'm going to say crap on 20
completely
goals.
correct. It's completely correct. Because using Odegaard's standard, the guy has been absolutely dog shit this season.
Okay, so
why should I compare Odegaard to Ogochukwu? Like,
right? You're talking about the high standard that he set for himself a few seasons ago, where he was doing everything and carrying the whole team. I think it's great that he doesn't need to do that. I think that it's a weakness to rely on Odegaard to carry the team. We need everyone else to do something, and he's working with Marino as a striker, Saka who's in and out of injury, Martinelli who's in and out of form, Trossard who's in and out of form. It's like you expect him to work miracles with bums or people that.
But he did work miracle with bums the last year and a half, 2 years.
He had a very good second half of the season last year, I think it was.
And what bum did he have up front?
In chances created, open play.
Yeah, and did he have a striker up front or a bum up front?
Depends how you classify Havertz. He could probably be both of those things.
Both a bum and a good player
at the same time. But yeah, I'm happy to be in the minority. Look, people want to say Odegaard's crap and whatever. Like, I'll just take names and
Martin, you're generalizing that.
No, but we're talking about Odegaard this season, Martin. You don't have to be this
because we've said the same about Foden. We said the same about Palmer this season.
Do you believe Foden's been crap this season? You do believe that?
Me,
And I believe that, and Mo
I don't
believes
think
that,
he's
and
been up to
everyone
his
believes that.
standard, but I wouldn't say he's a terrible player. And in fact, a lot of the times Odegaard's not involved in the GA because he's doing something else to set up that situation,
Which is
Taking
where,
pressing.
pictures.
which people want GA as the answer.
Pressing, yeah. Soboslai, Conor Gallagher.
No, but it's not just about pressing and running at some idiot. Odegaard can get the other team pushed into a position where they don't want to be and keep them there, and he's very good at that. And people actually want other captains. They wanted Tierney or they want Rice, and they're going to run this thing where they're like, oh, let's get the hair flick out of here so that my guy can be captain. I don't really care that much. To me, it's just down.
You
to business.
disagree with making Rice captain? I actually think that's a very smart
I
decision.
disagree. Yeah,
Why? Tell
Why?
me, honestly.
it's completely unnecessary. He is like a leader in his position. He can lead through the field, and he doesn't look. If he wants to be there, and Arteta wants him to be, I'll support it, and it'll be great. But right now, for me, Odegaard is the technical leader of this team. Everyone looks up to him as the guy who knows what to do in any situation. And when push comes to shove, I think he's been a very good captain for us.
Okay, can I give you an honest example? This is from my own club, so you don't get annoyed. I'll give you an example from my own club. In the early 2000s, the Liverpool captain was Sami Hyypiä.
I remember.
Then it was changed to Steven Gerrard. That helped make Gerrard better, and then that helped make the team better. Because 2 years after that, Champions League win. 3 years after that, FA Cup win, infamous Gerrard final. I do think Rice is one of those players that would absolutely thrive under that leadership role. I really do. Like, I think it would actually make Rice even better as a player.
Look, we're going in steps. Rice just leveled up this last week from everyone's expectations and understandings, and he did that without being captain. And I think he needs to focus on that, because once you become Arsenal captain, there's a lot more pressure on that player to be there every time. And you know, the first person that gets abused with, there's a problem. So I think I'm happy for Odegaard to be that foil for Rice. But there are other leaders on the team, like even, you know, Gabriel could be a captain potentially, or
I agree.
you know, there are other guys that can do it. But
do you think it would free Odegaard up if the captaincy? It might improve his game. I mean, you see that in cricket, don't you? You see that in cricket when a batter gets given captaincy, suddenly he loses his average and his innings and what have
if it
you.
goes the other way, then you take it as like a slight. It's like, I think he would look at that as like, I've regressed, and maybe he wouldn't be able to get his confidence back in that scenario. But
Yeah,
I don't really mind.
You've seen it in football. Harry Maguire had it taken off him, and now he's Manchester United's best striker.
Yeah, he actually moves like a striker too. It's crazy.
Huh?
He's seen Marino, and he's like, I'm on this. Anyone could be striker. Anyway,
Well,
look,
why are you so shocked? Like, what did someone say?
No, I'm actually looking at something that came to my head that people don't realize. Even though I think Odegaard has been crap by his standards, I don't think it's his fault per se. One of the things that people don't realize is Arsenal completely changed the way they play. Like, Odegaard moved to be that creative 10 that has two DMs playing behind him and play in a higher role in the team, to someone who actually just connects the game, gets the ball from the defense or the midfield to the forward line. And the problem is people are judging Odegaard based on the 20 GA he had 2 seasons ago with Arsenal, and Arsenal were challenging for the title before they fall off. But I went and I looked at his game lately, and I think that actually it is Mikel Arteta's fault that we all have this assumption about him, or this vision about this guy, that he's not, why you're not shooting, why you're not creating. And I think it's a manager's instruction that is limiting. Can he do it again? I don't know, because he's not given that chance. You get my point. One of the players that I compare him to is Alexis McAllister, for example. Our vision and our assumption and the way we look at Alexis McAllister is so different than the normal 10. You're called Palmer, or back in the
Yeah,
days when
McAllister's
they
not
had
even a 10.
So, and let me just finish, which is exactly why, because McAllister was never a 10. McAllister was always a box-to-box midfielder, was always an advanced 8, or someone who actually sometimes played the DM as a deeper guy, deep line playmaker.
He's
So we
actually
never
more
judged-
deep than advanced, if anything.
So we never judged McAllister on the amount of goals or the assist. We only judged McAllister on the volume of passes he do. Where does he receive the ball? Where does he pass the ball? Does he connect the game? Does he get involved in the attack in a different way, which is some old 8s used to do? You get my point? And it looks like both players now look very similar on the pitch, because Arsenal are way worse, with way worse players, because they don't have a Salah to pass to, and they don't have the caliber of player that Liverpool have. The problem is Martin Odegaard, and because he has Martin Odegaard, and because he has Partey and Rice, and Partey has shined in the 8th, we are having this assumption that Martin Odegaard has fallen off. He might have fallen off in terms of like the GA, but in terms
Okay,
of,
Mo, just can I ask you a question? You've worked with me long enough.
can I just finish my point before
You've
you
seen
come
my
in?
content.
I need to
Who
finish
do
your
I
point.
want replaced in the Liverpool midfield 3? Be honest.
Suppose like you need a 10.
Oh, yeah. And who do I want to come in for him? You've
Okay,
seen him
but
on
what
100
if
thumbnails,
okay, let me tell you, but let me ask you something. That's your opinion. Arteta, and we watch it, and you said it, that Arteta moved towards being way slower than before. He's not releasing the players, he's not giving the players chances to shine. And Martin Odegaard is part of that team. He's not giving him that license to do it. I see Martin Odegaard receive the ball from Saliba and Gabriel, which is something that your 10 shouldn't do. What if I'm going to ask you a question generally. What if Arne Slot choose next season to get a number 8 instead of what if he chooses to get a player like a Goretzka in the number 8? And then both your 8s are not contributing GA, but they are still having 70. By the way, Odegaard averaged 70 passes per game. And that is, by the way, it's the same number of passes that McAllister. Let me finish the next point. The same number of completed passes per game, because it's the same percentage. One of them is 82 and one of them is 83. It's actually Odegaard and McAllister. The only difference is McAllister had 2 more goals because he took shots from outside the 18. And both of them don't have an enormous amount of goals. Both of them, one of them has 2, the other one has 4, basically. So there is not one of them.
Why are you
that's have
comparing
like
Odegaard to
15
McAllister? Can I understand?
Aha. Now you get it. Because
Yes.
I blame Mikel Arteta for this, for making Odegaard instead of a creative 10,
Here we go.
an 8 that connects.
By the way,
play.
even Martin would disagree with you. You can ask him.
I don't think
Bro,
Odegaard
you-
plays the 10. He occupies a space that's just on the right behind
Yeah.
Saka. He sits in this pocket. He collects the ball under pressure. He drops back to pick it up. He feeds it to Saka, and then that's pretty much his job done. He's there to collect it when we lose the ball again. I don't see him in the middle on the edge of the box trying to do like tiny little passes to people. He just feeds Saka. He makes sure Saka gets fed and gets everything that he needs.
Yeah.
Husam can attest to this, Wolfie, that in the beginning of the season, I was so critical of Arteta moving Odegaard to be another number 8.
You were.
Like that is in November, guys. Like after he came back from injury and before he got injured, it's like, why is
Yeah,
this
but
guy
it
so
sounds the
deep?
same as Liverpool fans who say the only reason why Szoboszlai is not shining because he doesn't have a natural DM behind him and because we don't have a striker.
No, but that's
But
supposed
there are
to the job.
opportunities for
Why
Odegaard to
isn't
shine.
Shaq-
He doesn't
why-
take them.
Why McAllister and Odegaard have the same assists and the same number of chances creating? Why? And
But
McAllister,
McAllister is our best midfielder, though.
Yeah?
McAllister is our best midfielder.
no Gravenberch is, but fine.
You can ask the chat
Sam,
right now.
Sam, if your best midfielder have the same number of passes and the same number of passes completed and everything like Odegaard, that tells me that your best midfielder is worse than Arsenal's worst midfielder.
But that's
Isn't that what we're
that's an unfair
Isn't that what
comparison
we're
because you're
talking
saying
about?
Odegaard. Okay, don't start getting hyped up for no reason. You're saying Odegaard is next to Saka. McAllister is next to Robertson, Habibi. Like he's way deeper.
Odegaard is way
That's
deeper
a bad
on the pitch as
indication
well.
on Odegaard, not on McAllister.
Yeah,
McAllister's
Habibi,
not
I
advanced.
think you're misunderstanding. These are instructions.
Yeah, Mo has a point.
Thank you very much, TK. So at the Bernabeu, I'm Odegaard. I'm here. Okay, the scoreline is 0-0. Saka's right here, like literally, like what, 1 meter away from me, right there, and he's making a perfectly timed run. All I've got to do is just do a 1 yard layoff, 2 yard layoff.
You're
And
giving
I
one
got
example,
times in a
but
row.
you don't
How's
understand
that
the point
Arteta's
at all.
fault?
You don't understand the point at all.
I can help you, Mo. I can help you.
I am telling you average, Osam. You're telling me one example. I'm telling you in average, both players per 90 complete the same number of passes. Exactly that. They attempt, by the way, they attempt the same number and
McAllister
they
is
complete the
deeper.
same.
This is bad on Odegaard, not good on Odegaard.
Yeah, no,
It's
you're
not-
missing
it's bad.
Mo's point. You're missing Mo's point. Let me give you an example. You're right and you're wrong, in my opinion, Mo, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Best example I can give you about what you're saying is Rodgers at Villa at the moment.
Yes.
Rodgers
go
for
ahead.
me is better as a 10. Since Asensio has come in, Emery has moved him out to the right-hand side and put him out of position. And therefore, you haven't seen the best of Rodgers because he's trying to accommodate for Asensio, which I think he shouldn't do. I think Rodgers is better in the 10. So what you're saying, Mo, if I've understood you right, is the way that Arteta is playing Odegaard is maybe, making him less impactful on the game in a way as well.
In the GA, in the
Yes,
the
because
chance
he
creation.
changed his
I
role
think
within the team.
what TK is saying here is right. Like Odegaard's shooting has fallen off this season. It was a feature of his game which he developed, and I don't think Arteta's at fault for that. When he's had chances, he's missed them, and I think that's frustrating for everyone. But I don't agree with the rest of the agenda against him, like the passing and the situational stuff. I think he's a very intelligent player that has got us to where we are. So,
But I just think with Odegaard, 2 seasons ago, he was on fire because his passing was through the lines. His vision seemed a lot better. He could get those killer balls through the lines and what have you. I feel at the moment with Odegaard, because his confidence is down, he's playing the safe passes. That's what he's doing. That's the difference. And I think it's a confidence thing. No one here is saying Odegaard is crap. What we are saying is he's having a crap season. There's a big difference.
Some people are saying he couldn't do that Marino pass to Martinelli at the end of the game, but he does that in his sleep with his eyes closed. Like
he does that when he's confident, I would say.
No, but even in the game against Real Madrid, he did this beautiful like outside of the foot through ball through 4 players to break the offside thing. But without, it's like he takes two to tango. You need the right run. You need the right player to meet. Marino's not trying to beat an offside trap. Martinelli's all the way on the other side of the field, and Saka's the guy that he plays with to like get the team into the right position to attack from.
Yeah, he has that pass. We've seen it season in, season out, last couple of seasons. I'm just saying, to me, he comes across as a player right now who's playing within himself, trying to find confidence in what he's doing. And now that Saka's back, as you said, his role is almost just get the ball to Saka, which is taken away from his talent, which we saw 2 years ago. He was the string puller for me in that Arsenal team.
Odegaard better than Bruno. Odegaard best 10 in the planet.
Yeah,
15
and
assists season. Come on, man.
He was playing out of his skin.
Can I give you a
stats,
stats, guys? Odegaard have created double the number of chances and double the number of big chances for Arsenal than McAllister for Liverpool. In terms of chances,
Habibi, compare McAllister and Partey, not McAllister and Odegaard. It makes no sense.
it makes a lot of sense.
No, you are doing
not,
apples and
McAllister
oranges.
is not our advanced midfielder. I've said this 100 times. Soboslai is.
All I have to tell you that go check that where Odegaard plays versus where McAllister plays.
Yeah, you're copying comment from the comment section. Check the heat map. Yeah, but we know where they play because we have.
No, but I said that even before the comments said that. I literally said that Odegaard is deeper now, and I compared them to McAllister before. Why is this agenda? It's very strange. I think that Odegaard can be used higher on the pitch, but literally, both players are playing to connect the passes. Is it Arteta's fault? Yes, because he's not using Odegaard to the best ability. Has Odegaard fallen off a little bit because of that, because the confidence in front of the goal? But that is automatic thing that happens to any player that his manager is asking him not to be higher on the pitch, creating chances. Because you get way less chances, your confidence is shook. That's just how it is, right? That's how it is. I don't know what is this. Like, I get Odegaard has fallen off a little bit. This is literally Mikel Arteta's fault. I don't get this.
You say a little bit though. That's the part that I'm like,
It's more
100% is Mikel Arteta's fault.
It's more than a little bit.
I think the
Odegaard 2 years ago was sensational for me. Sensational.
Someone tell me that McAllister is a defensive midfielder. So what is
Yeah, McAllister is literally a DM for Liverpool. That's the
Well,
reason why Liverpool
How many
wants Shaq.
DMs you got?
this is ridiculous. Anyway,
Okay, guys, it's chat. I'm sorry, we just don't understand football compared to the mighty Footy Judge Mo, who should be educating us on the beautiful game. I watch my team week in,
I
week
definitely
out
should. I
with
definitely should
Gravenberch
educate you on
and
the football
McAllister
match.
next to each other in a double
I
pivot.
definitely should
With
educate you.
Soboslai ahead of
So-
them, but
so
I'm
shut up
supposed
with
to
those,
think
bro.
that McAllister is the dance midfielder because of what Mr. Footy Judge Mo says. McAllister at most is an 8. He's nowhere near a 10. He does not play in the 10 position. He's running up and down the pitch. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He is closer to a Partey than he is to a Odegaard. It's not difficult to explain. The correct comparison would be McAllister Partey or Odegaard Soboslai. That's the correct comparison. Big up though.
What about Morgan
I
Gibbs
disagree with
White?
you.
What about who?
MGW, Morgan Gibbs White. Just to get.
What about him?
How
Yeah,
how
but
do you
here's
think
the
he
thing.
puts
The reason
on
why this
Odegaard
is
there?
unfair again is because the way that Forest play football.
Yeah, that's
He spends more time defensively.
Yeah, he spends a
than
lot
does
more time
offensively.
defending than anything else. So his heat map is
But
going to
does
be
he
fucked
play
up.
as a 10 or does he play as an 8?
He plays as a 10, but I actually think he's a better 8.
But you can't. Okay, here's the problem. You cannot compare Morgan Gibbs-White to McAllister or Odegaard. The reason why is that because the heat map will absolutely fool you. Because Nottingham Forest are not Liverpool and Arsenal in terms of ball position. So even though
The
Morgan
heat map
Gibbs-White
will fool you.
and will
My
fool you,
point.
of
Well,
course.
you're arguing against your own point.
He's arguing against his own argument. يا حبيبي يا وردة.
No, you're wrong. That's definitely my point. If you let me finish and you all like just listen instead of you trying to act smart, because you might not be smart, Arsenal and Liverpool both play on the front foot. So we can compare both teams because both teams are very close in terms of ball position and where the players are on the pitch. So I can compare both teams, but I cannot compare the number 10's heat map of a team that has less than 50% average ball position
Yeah, but
versus
you're
the
not
team that has
comparing
60.
both
Let me finish,
10s,
please,
bro.
Wolfie. Let me finish, please. Let me finish, please.
Okay.
But I can compare two teams that have average same ball position, same positionally places on the pitch, because both of them are attacking, both of them pin other teams. So I can compare both teams. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Oh
what
my
about
God.
Odegaard and Bruno?
Yes, that's
Man
People do
U.
that comparison a lot.
Go check.
I don't know
Man
what they play
United.
as.
Go check Man United average position every game. One game is 60, one game is 45,
Exactly.
the second game is 48, the game after is 70. Man United, a team at the current moment, because of the change of the manager and because of the way they play, you don't know who plays where. Sometimes Bruno Fernandes is the one plays behind the forward, and I see him receive the ball from Maguire. What are you doing here? I don't know.
Yeah, Bruno plays in the 10 for them. He's played
So
in the 8.
the fact is, JJ is asking, is who's the Arsenal number 10? I'm gonna ask you another question, JJ. Who's the Inter number 10?
No
If
one
you
cares.
answer this,
No one watches
I'm gonna
Pizza
answer-
League though.
No one cares.
if you answer this, I'm gonna answer you. I'm talking to JJ, not to you guys.
Yeah, but even JJ
JJ
doesn't
JJ
care.
doesn't watch Pizza League either.
I am actually literally asking who's Inter's number 10? Because people actually think that every team should have an Ozil, a number 10 that is creative behind. That is crazy from you guys. Because even some
Who said
teams
that?
don't play with the 10s. Some teams play with a DM and 2 8s. And we have seen this
Well, Mo, you
everywhere
can't.
in the
Who
Premier
said
Habib,
League.
that?
we know
Even
this, but you don't
Fulham.
have a 10. You don't have a 10.
And Arsenal don't have a fucking 10.
Mhm.
That
So
is
you're
my
telling me
problem.
Rice and Odegaard play the same role then?
I'm telling you that Rice is sometimes ahead of Odegaard.
So,
Even
okay,
on
but
the pitch. This
a
is
perfect
a
example.
crazy
So you're talking about
argument
Inter.
that I don't
You're
understand.
talking about Inter. Hakan is the
Oh
DM.
my-
Hakan is the TM. Barella and Mkhitaryan are the 8s, correct?
That's it, done.
Perfect. Okay, stop shouting. Listen. So now, who's the 6 in Arsenal?
Party.
Partey is the 6. So you think Rice and Odegaard play the same role?
Different
Same
roles.
role on the pitch. Okay, hold on. Same role on the pitch. Different instructions completely. One of them is asked to get on the ball way more often than the other. That's what you don't understand. Some
There
of
you
them,
go,
1-8. I literally answered you. You don't want to listen.
Odegaard
Like
and
Szoboszlai and
Rice play the
McAllister.
same role, but different instructions. Okay, mate.
That's 100. You can definitely play 2 8s. I'm gonna give you an example. There's a lot of teams that play with a DM and 2 8s, right? 1 8 is tasked to go make late runs to the 18, and the other 8 is tasked to connect the play between the DM and the wingers and the forward. It is very simple. I don't know how people on the 2 8s don't have to be similar. If one team has a DM and 2 8s exactly the same, that is literally the definition of stupidity on the pitch. You definitely need a number 8 to make late runs, be the second striker sometimes,
Box to
tackle, run more, box to box.
Yeah, but
do
you're
this.
you're
And you
comparing
need
the
it-
wrong
Let me finish, please,
players.
guys. When I make a take, let me finish. And when you have another guy that is the number 8 that actually connects the play, gets on the ball more often, gets this, covers the right side, example, forward. Declan Rice doesn't do that. For example, I'm going to give you an example. Szoboszlai, right, does the Declan Rice rule in terms of covering the right side. Let me finish this. Runs around. But Szoboszlai is not tasked to get on the ball 70, 80 times a game. It is absolutely crazy because McAllister is the one who plays the head of Gravenberch, gets on the ball a lot, touches the ball more, being slower. Szoboszlai is way quicker, right? That is what people misunderstand. You can have different 8s. You don't have to play a double pivot, by the way, and a 10. Especially if your manager doesn't want to do this. He wants to create from the wingers. That happens a lot of times. By the way, Man City sometimes do this. They don't play with a 10. They do create from the sides. They task the number 8s and the 6 to give the ball to the sides so they can cook one-on-one. They can connect the passes. Sorry, they can dribble. They can cross.
Oh, no.
أخيرا.
The Odegaard Mafia got it.
Alhamdulillah, man.
Go ahead, Wolfie. Say your point, because
He's just filibustering now. That's all he's doing. Your point at the start,
I agree with you. Yes.
he still hasn't addressed it.
Go
The
chat about-
comparison is Szoboszlai and Odegaard. I can understand that. Khalas,
Agreed.
that's it. He doesn't want to compare that. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't think
And
they're
that's the
very
thing.
similar.
No one's
technically. I
saying
don't think they do
these
so
are defined as 10s or these are defined as 8s.
But Martin, you agree they're a similar role, right?
Odegaard's job is to go right and overload with Saka. Rice's job is to go left and overload with Martinelli and crash the box. Rice is winning the ball back. He's trying to get it to Odegaard. They do different things. Rice doesn't get the ball necessarily directly.
Forget that. What's Szoboszlai's role at Liverpool? You've watched this enough? Same as
Szoboszlai, he just runs everywhere and shoots at everything and tackles everything. He's just like he's a crazy machine that just
Chases
know.
his tail.
he doesn't seem to use technique more
Yeah,
than
but
he
if you
uses
ask
brute.
most Liverpool fans, they tell you Szoboszlai is the replaceable one. Like if you tell me right now, okay, bring me in Sherky for Szoboszlai, I'd shake your hand right now.
Is
Yeah,
that 'cause
but
you've
for
got
me,
McAllister
Szoboszlai,
and Randall?
I would define him still. I don't even know if this is a thing. I'd say he's a defensive 10. I don't know if that makes sense, but he
Yes,
doesn't-
it does make sense because earlier on Kopish a day ago, I said there is no difference between everything you guys are describing and Conor Gallagher. So I get it.
Mm.
Well, we tend to play with a 9 that drops in and does the 10 stuff, kind of like Havertz or Marino. Like they don't spend a lot of time pushing the offside trap. They're trying to get deep and collect the ball and spread it wide and all that kind of stuff. So we don't play with a 10. I don't consider Odegaard a 10 in our system.
Yeah, Newcastle don't. Newcastle play with the
Three
three
eights,
across the middle.
straight up.
Yes, exactly. And they alternate.
No real DM, just 3 8s.
Sometimes you'll see Tonali as the deepest. Sometimes you see him box crashing.
I think it's just how like the players like combine together. And
Yeah,
I
but
really
the
like
problem
how
is
Partey
people
and
try
Rice
and
Odegaard-
define formations as if it's a Sabutio table.
Yeah.
You are the 8, therefore you can only go in this little grid
Do 8 things.
slot here.
And the problem is, which is what me and Wolfie mentioned, is 2
Mm.
years ago, Odegaard had 15 assists.
Yep.
Which is a very valid thing to bring up, Martin. We were talking about player levels. Just
Yeah,
like
but-
me and you have been on streams together and agreed on Foden.
How do you
There's
get an
nothing wrong with
assist? You give it to someone and they score a goal. We haven't had people scoring goals. So what the heck happened to Mo?
he had a power cut.
You get beaten up.
Dark, man. He's in the dark.
Wallahi, Wolfie knows exactly what happened.
Yeah. قطعوا عليك.
I've had a
Shadow
power
and
cut.
everything.
The internet is shit.
Oh man.
I'm not sure if you guys
You
can
gotta
hear
use
me or
cameras.
see me or anything.
Bro, there's been many times I've on the phone to Libya, man, and suddenly, whoop.
You got cut off mid rant.
It was good, man. It was good because you were doing a bit of a filibuster, man. You were doing a bit of a filibuster, man. You good now? You good?
I don't know.
Can you
maybe
guys
it's
hear me
delayed.
anyway?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
you.
Unfortunately.
You've just
I'm
got
very
like 3
delayed, by the way.
pixels.
Go ahead. So go ahead. Yeah, I know.
Okay,
So who's
what
getting
else are we
top
talking
5, boys? Who's getting top 5?
Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, City, Villa.
Villa.
I don't know how you could say Villa aren't looking the most likely after. I think they've won 5 in a row now in the Premier League. Newcastle just won 5 in a row and lost their first one against Villa.
So your expectation is Villa win on Tuesday then?
Who have they got?
Man City.
Man City? I would pick Villa
Trying
to
to
beat
pull up
City right
the
now.
league table.
I would go for Villa beating Man City right now.
So then how are Man City going to get top 5 in your top 5?
Dodgy
so you're
envelope.
telling
No, I mean,
me-
they'll find a way. They've got like, they haven't got that hard of a run. I thought they were just very easy teams after Villa.
Have you seen Villa's run?
So, guys, do we all agree Liverpool and Arsenal are going to make it just so we can make this easier?
Yeah.
I do.
Everyone agrees. Okay.
Yeah.
3, 4, and 5.
No, Wolfie doesn't because he thinks that Forest will finish above Arsenal, and by definition, that means Arsenal will miss on Champions League.
How does that work when it goes down to 5?
Because you're going to finish above
Actually,
Arsenal.
Mo,
and
it
you-
doesn't
Yeah,
work. It doesn't work. Mo, don't go down.
Arsenal
that
could
road.
finish 5th and Forest could finish 4th.
Yeah, so it
by
would work
definition,
even that way.
Anyway,
So I can lie, Mo. You had an L there.
Hey,
So
It
currently,
doesn't work.
I'm loading up the table. Newcastle 59, City 58, Forest 57, but with a game in hand. Villa 57, Chelsea 54 with a game in hand. Can we all agree to stop here and not go to Bournemouth, Fulham, etc.?
Yes.
you said
Okay.
Fulham was
Fulham
still
was
in,
still in
didn't
it.
you?
Mo, didn't you say
It depends. If
was-
Fulham win tomorrow against Chelsea, I think they're 3 points behind.
Okay, as things stand now, let's, for the sake of time,
Yeah.
let's just say,
Yeah,
just
for
stop
the
at
sake
Chelsea.
of time, Fulham are not in it for the sake of time.
Okay.
Hello?
By the way, the one thing
Okay,
the edge
so-
that has Forest have the edge over
Yes, I'm going to be
everyone.
very logical about this. 1 second, Mo. Let me be very logical about this. Chelsea fixtures are Fulham away, Everton at home, Liverpool, Newcastle away, United, and Forest away. So I'm directly saying Chelsea, bye-bye, Habibi. So
Khalas.
now this leaves us with who? This leaves us with 3 off Newcastle, City, Forest, and Villa. 3 of them get Champions League football. I'm going to go Forest, City, Newcastle. They have way too easy of a run for me to ignore them. So I think Villa
Can
will
I-
drop off.
Can I
will
ask
stay
you
at-
something? If Chelsea win tomorrow away at Fulham,
Mhm.
I actually think they can.
Okay,
I think
that
just
will-
before you
fixtures
say
are
anything
too
crazy,
hard.
Mo, let me present you the argument before, and we'll get Wolfie and Martin as well. Just let me present you the argument.
Can you
The
tell the
last
people to like?
game-
There's 600 people here.
Guys, like the video, have some shame. It's fucking.
You know how many
1:47
likes?
a.m.
Allah,
I've been on
if
the
you-
scare for fucking 6 hours straight. Anyway,
said
We have
some very
600
offensive
people
stuff.
and we don't have 150 likes. Just to let you know.
guys, have some shame. Have some shame. Anyway, so let me present you the argument first, and all 3 of you can fight, you can argue, you can agree, you can disagree, up to you. Chelsea on the final game day go to Forest away. They play Man United, whether you guys like it or not. Man United are crap, we agree, but they are Chelsea's bogey team. It's just as simple as that. Bogey teams is a thing, guys. It's a thing. So that's why that's their bogey team. They also go away to St. James's Park. So Chelsea, one of the games is away at St. James's. And even if they do beat Fulham, they're going to come up against Everton low block. Everton low block from hell. Who the fuck gonna unlock that for Chelsea? I don't know. So that's 4 games that I think Chelsea are gonna minimum draw or lose.
And I
in.
think
I'm not even saying Liverpool. You wanna
because
know
you're
why?
gonna.
Being objective, I'm being objective. Liverpool could have won the league by then, and we don't give a fuck. So, okay, no problem. You can beat Liverpool. But the rest of them. تفضل. Forest away, Newcastle
I
away,
agree with you. I
Everton
agree.
low block. Now what?
I think
Yeah,
even if they beat
logic-
Fulham
To
tomorrow,
be honest with you,
even if they-
logically speaking, Chelsea are the ones that should finish behind everyone. Logically speaking,
Thank
by the way.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Forest are the ones that should be the most safe team here with the easy run, having to play Chelsea at home the last game. Basically, I think if it reaches that game and Forest will get a point to make top 5, they will make it. Like something will happen. Forest will even get a point to make it at Chelsea. The other teams, to be honest, I'm not sure because the problem with Newcastle, my electricity is gonna come back at some time, like and just the internet. The electricity is here. The problem is in
Pay
Egypt.
the bill, bro.
People that live in Egypt, the router takes about 10 minutes to come back online in Egypt. It is very strange, right? It's very strange. But anyway, Wolfie, you know about what I'm talking
They've got
about.
to
Don't
like
act
wind
like
it by hand, though. You know?
Wolfie, you know what I'm talking about. You've
I
been
know,
to Libya. Don't tell me you don't know. Right?
I know from this side of it, man. When I see the generators down there, man, and
You know.
I got to say from
Uh,
the form and the chat saying it too, like there's no way that Villa and Newcastle are missing out in the top 5. And I would like to mention that there's only a 5th position because of Arsenal. So whoever comes 5th, I'm going to be like dunking. on
but that's
whoever
not really
comes up.
true because Man U and Spurs both won. So
Yeah, no, but if we didn't beat Real Madrid and like keep someone in the Champions League, it wouldn't have been enough. So I'm
no,
claiming.
yeah, England teams needed one more win, bro. Nice try, nice try.
Hey, we weren't there. If we got knocked out earlier, there wouldn't be a 5th spot. So anyway, but yeah, City, I think, will do just enough. I think that as fun as that would be, I can't see them missing out on top 5, becoming 6. So, I don't even look at the fixtures. I think Forest, you've got a bit of a hard time keeping that momentum going that you had before. You've got to find that form again, I suppose. And I know you said you've got some easier teams, but I think that's going to be harder for you guys.
Yeah, we got the easiest fixtures out of the top 7.
Yeah.
Well, as in you know what I mean. Out of the 5 competing, we got the easiest. I think everyone would agree on that. Because we got Leicester and Spurs and
Yeah, but after that loss against Everton, do you trust Forest to beat the team that they should be?
Bro, I've never trusted my team in my whole existence. I've supported
2
them
stars.
from
2 stars.
when did I start? Like 91, man. I've seen things.
It's very strange
happen.
that you chose Forest.
I
Do you
know,
live in
man.
the area though?
No, I was in the area. I don't know.
So that's why you chose.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Because you know Arab dads, man. They only care about Brazil and Argentina. It's not like I had
Why
my
did
dad.
Why did he choose?
It was the first game I ever saw, like physically saw live on TV, was the FA Cup Spurs Forest. And that was the first game I
Okay.
saw. And
Why you didn't choose Spurs?
man, in it, man. So
Actually,
yeah,
I don't know. Because you've got the 2 UCLs, but you didn't see those, right? So I don't know. You're still
but they
living up
happened.
top.
Yeah, they happened. Yeah.
Has Spurs
happened.
had more fun and success since you were a fan at Forest than you have?
No,
You guys
Spurs have
probably-
only had 2008, haven't they?
Yeah.
That's
What
it.
have you guys won?
I've won 3 trophies in that time.
Okay. All right.
What are the 3 trophies?
I won the championship. I won the playoff final.
That's a bit of a stretch.
You didn't say
No!
what type.
No!
You didn't say what type. Anyway, back onto the point.
I
Back
think I
onto
would
the
prefer
point.
to be a Spurs fan.
Leicester
I
have
have-
won League 1. Leicester have won League 2. Oh my God! What
You
are we
asked
doing?
me, bro, and I answered. You didn't say
You
were they
cannot
minors,
be
were they
that
majors, or
shameless.
whatever. You asked me. You
Cannot
asked
be
me.
that shameless.
Well, technically, the trophy we won is the most expensive trophy in world football. So
To make, or the prize.
no, the prize money for it
yeah,
is the most expensive. The playoff final. But anyway, yeah, and we've won the Brian Clough Trophy. Yeah, well said, George. We've won that. Anyway, the point here is I have seen my team do stuff that is impossible to do. I've seen my team on the last day of the season not need a 6-goal swing, not even need to draw or win a game. Just don't lose it by a 6-goal swing to stay in the playoffs. Yeah. And we went and lost 4-1 to Stoke. Okay. I've seen my team move crazy things, right? That's why you can never, ever be certain with my team. But I've now seen my team do stuff this season that they would have normally not done. That's the difference here. Yeah. Normally we'd have messed up after we lost to Bournemouth 5-0. You'd normally expect wheels to fall off. We went and won 7-0. Forest haven't lost more than 2 games in a row all season. So my expectation now is we go to Spurs and we should win. And the run-in, I still already have given us 3 points against Leicester. That's not many can argue against. It's at home. It's Leicester. Pretty
My
much
internet should be
relegated.
perfect now, right? Like my internet
Huh?
should be perfect.
Yeah, you're fine.
My internet is back.
Yeah, you're looking bright.
So what points are you
mashallah.
going to finish on? If you get those 2 wins, what else are you getting?
So I think for me, the way I'm working on this, not who's going to win this, who's going to win that, is who gets to 65 points. I think it's 65 or 66 points.
Okay.
Do I see Forest with a path to 65 points? Yes, I do. We have to be either Spurs or Brentford and Leicester. That's 6 points and then get, say, 2 draws. That puts us on 65, yeah? So that's why, like, even if the worst comes to the worst, we lose to Spurs, I still don't think we've taken it out of our hands. I look at Chelsea and I think they can't get to 65 points. I look at Villa and think the only way they can get to 65 points is they have to get at least something from Man City. Probably a win now, because their goal difference is the worst out of the lot. They're on +6. So that could play a part in it as well. So I think there's a lot of elements. And Monday night, I could be sitting here back in 3rd place if we beat Spurs. And then Villa, the next day, Villa and Man City are playing each other. Someone or both are going to lose points. We don't have to worry about that until Chelsea. And by that time, I don't expect Chelsea to still be in it. So I think the top 5 is the top 5 now. I don't know what order, but I think this is the top 5.
How will you
Nice.
react if you miss out?
I'll be
have
pissed
you
off,
heart
bro.
set on it, or you don't really?
I'd be pissed off. There'll be there's a debate in the Forest community of, is it a bottle job? Is it not? It's a bottle job. You don't stay third from the 8th of December or whatever it was, and then bottle it with 4 or 5 weeks to go. It's a bottle job, but that's my
So
opinion.
how did
Other
Arsenal
people-
bottle the league if they were never top ever this season?
Oh, I haven't called them a bottle job on the league this season.
Oh,
I called
they're
them
not.
that
Okay,
last
for you,
season
they're not a bottle job. Okay,
and the
okay,
season
for you,
before.
I just
Arsenal
wanted
could
to know.
bottle the Champions League. Now that's a different debate, but
But that is not in their hand.
of course it's in their hands.
It's
How's it not in
it's
their
not
hands?
in their hand.
Whose hands
How
is
is
it in then?
Are they the best team for you in the Champions League?
No, is it not in their hands?
No, hold on. Are they the best teams for you in the Champions League? It's
No.
not. It's nobody. It's in nobody's hands because it's a
No,
knockout
it's in all
competition.
4 teams' hands.
Okay, hold on. Are they the best team for you in the Champions League?
No,
Now, so how is it if you're not the best, you bottle something if you're not even favorites?
because
for
I
it?
think
In
this is
your
their
book,
best chance
in
to
your-
win it.
No. Forget the best chance. How would you bottle something if you're not favorites from your point?
Because it's in their hands. Is it not?
It's it.
That's,
But it's
yeah,
not
but
in their
you
own
can't. You
hands.
can't. No.
If it-
But I'm
If
being
it's not in
consistent.
their hands by himself, like it's in other people's hands as
No,
well.
it's in their hands, literally by themselves.
But it is.
Okay,
But it
if
is in
Arsenal
other people's
wins
hands
3
as
games in
well.
the Champions League, have they won the Champions League?
Let me give you an example. There is a wheel, and 4 people are holding that wheel. One of them is the weakest guy, and he gets beat based on your definition. He gets beat, yet you say he bottled it. It wasn't there. Yes, he was holding. He was there. He was on the thing. He started there with them.
No,
but they're
but-
3 stronger than him. But he definitely didn't bottle it because he was not the
Yeah, but
strongest guy there.
the example you're painting there, you're
Your
painting it like there's
expectation.
3 bodybuilders versus a skinny
your
Libyan or
opinion.
something.
It's
No,
your- you
No.
said that they're not the best. Who's best? Are they the 4th best? Or they're the 3rd, 2nd,
third, I'd say.
3rd? So there are 2 teams better than them, correct?
Yeah, but the
So you
team
would-
that they're
you
wait,
would-
wait. Don't just push these narratives, bro.
I'm not
For me,
pushing
they're-
narrative. I'm
for
trying to
me,
get
they
your
are
logic.
better. Hold on. For me, they are better than PSG. I think Inter and Barcelona are better than them. Therefore, they're up against a team who they are better than. Yes or no? I mean, would everyone agree they're probably better in terms of a structural team than PSG? I think PSG have a better midfield.
No, Luis Enrique is a very good coach. I think it's a 50-50 for me.
Oh, okay, for you. I'm saying for me. You asked me where
For
I put
you,
them. I
for
said
you.
third. But
Yeah.
I've got it Barca, Inter, Arsenal, PSG. Now you have to split that because they're not playing all 3 teams. They're playing PSG.
Yeah,
Therefore, in my
yeah.
opinion, they're stronger than PSG. They should go through. It's in their hands. Then you get to a final, and you never know what's going to happen. Could
never know.
Lehman get a red card again? You never know. Okay.
Yeah,
So
but-
can you
but,
bottle-
Wolfie,
so
can I
did you
present
hear
you
us?
with an
Did you
argument?
hear us?
Honestly,
Did you
can
hear us
I
ولا
say
لا?
one
Did you
thing?
hear
Let
us?
me-
Did you hear us ولا لا?
Yes,
You know what I'm talking
I heard everything you said.
Okay,
Okay, so I just want to bring up this argument for Champions League because I've seen my club fail and succeed in Champions Leagues, and I think it'd be fair to say that when it comes to UCL, for the most part, other than Arsenal have 1%, I know what I'm talking about. So here is the thing. In Champions League specifically, and this doesn't exist in a league premise, styles make fights. Okay? Inter would rather play Arsenal. Arsenal would rather play Barcelona. PSG actually do have the capabilities to unlock an Inter.
I don't think. Inter
So when
wants to
I'm
play
looking
Arsenal.
but with Arsenal, it's objectively, I'm not even trying to be subjective. Objectively, if you play Barcelona, you could actually beat them. Much bigger chance than Inter. Like
That's
Inter
why I
are
think Inter would
horrible to
want
play against for Arsenal.
PSG.
Say that again, sorry.
I think Inter would rather play PSG than Arsenal, like for the same reason you're saying. Styles make fights.
Oh, I disagree. I think Inter would rather play Arsenal than PSG. So this is what I think is happening right now. I think Barcelona would rather take on PSG than Arsenal, and I think Inter would rather take on Arsenal than PSG.
And
I think Arsenal want to play Inter. Sorry, Arsenal want to play Barcelona, not Inter. And I think PSG want to play against
Your
Barcelona.
logic is a little bit flawed when it comes to Inter and Arsenal, because the reason why Arsenal want to take on Barcelona is the same reason why Inter would want to take PSG, not Arsenal. That is the logic. If you have that logic,
okay, I'll explain to you.
Oh, okay.
Inter can nullify Arsenal's attack easier than they can nullify PSG's attack. We agree. Inter against whoever, Inter are going to be defensive. Fair?
Yes.
In the final. So I'm not going to say park the bus, but at least they're going to be more defensive. Hello? So the PSG front four has a bigger chance of unlocking than the Arsenal front four.
I actually disagree with you. Can I just say something about
Barcelona is the weak link in all
Can I
this.
just say,
their defense is
Inter
ass.
and Arsenal, there is a world, there's a 50% chance that Arsenal actually let Inter have the ball. Because Inter, against Bayern Munich, in their stadium, in the Allianz Arena, we had more possession than them in a whole half at their own stadium. And we forced them to do that. Inzaghi can approach the game the same. Basically, all I have to tell you is Arsenal's attack is not as strong as Bayern Munich attack with Harry Kane and Michael Olise and Leroy Sané's speed. And Inter chose to go toe-to-toe and just have the ball in the first half. We had 53% ball position. We were passing the ball like 40 times. But PSG will force Inter to defend, which plays in our hand that we can do the counter-attack against them. But Arsenal and Inter, for me, like, I think that...
Well, you don't want to play the teams with the best defense, right? Like, I don't want to play a team with a good defense. That's
100%.
how I see it.
And I don't want to play Arsenal when they can literally choose to go 1-0 up and defend for the rest of the game, and we're just going to struggle. You know that PSG, even if they go 1-0 up, Inter can just say, have the ball again. We're going to try to play through you when we receive the ball. Arsenal won't do that. If Arsenal go 1-0 in the final, it is over. For whoever they play, it's over. It might be over.
Whoever goes 1-0.
Arteta might step on the pitch and just be another guy on the pitch.
Wait, what's the debate here?
Like,
I disagree with your logic. I think both sides. I think Arsenal and PSG both would choose Barca over Inter.
Sam changed that. Okay, what we're saying is that Wolfie thinks that Arsenal will bottle the Champions League, and I asked, you can only bottle something if you're the best team in it, especially in the cup competition.
Wrong.
If you're the favorites for it.
Wrong. Liverpool last
Champions League
were not the favorites to win the Premier League, and we bottled.
No. You didn't hear. See? Okay. Let me say it again so you can hear again. Let me see it again. So you can
We
hear
were favorites when we were 5 points ahead. We were favorites when with Manchester City coming.
See, he's not listening. He's not listening because he missed a big point. He missed a big point. You cannot bottle a cup competition if you're not the best team. I literally said a cup competition, not a league, because you can be top of the league for a while and a team that is better than you sweep the rest of the league.
Yeah, but you're not listening. You're not listening.
Oh my God. And then he said, he gives an example of the league where I literally specifically excluded the league.
You do this a lot more. You miss the points that are relevant to
Did
what
Madrid
I said.
bottle the Champions League more?
Yes, because we're favorites for it.
Okay, khalas, then we just disagree subjectively then.
Well,
Okay, the point I made was the reason it would be a bottle is because it's in
100%.
their hands. You disagreed with me saying it's in their hands, Mo. That's the bit you're missing out of this. It is in their hands, whether you like it or not.
Was it in PSV's hands?
To do what?
PSV were in the round of 16. Was it in PSV's hands?
In the first leg, yes, and the second leg, no.
Okay, so at that time, PSV bottled it because it was at some point in their hands.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Okay, done.
I really don't like this bottle talk
Sometimes my argument is done by your answer. By the way, Wolf,
I
I'm
don't
being
like
serious.
about this bottle
Sometimes
talk.
your argument is done by your statement, bro.
By my statement, correct.
So are
Which is
you
fine.
gonna agree or disagree that that Arsenal winning the Champions League is in their hands or not? Which one is it?
It is in everyone. Yes, it is in their hand. They can
Okay,
win
but
it.
5 minutes ago you were telling me, oh, but if they had a wheel and is it in their hands and all this stuff? So
That's
you're
why
agreeing with me.
I'm giving you I gave you the example. It was in Feyenoord's hand at some point. It was in PSV's hand at some
Yeah,
point.
but your example wasn't a balanced example because you were basically
It
saying
was a balanced
Arsenal-
example.
because you were saying Arsenal are so
Bro, you're-
inferior to the other three, which is not what I said.
I never said that. I never said that. I asked you.
No, you did because you said they were the weakest
are
ones
they-
trying to hold it.
Like,
Did Spurs bottle the
Wallah
Champions
al-Azim,
League
I said-
to Liverpool?
Spurs have been bottling, bro,
Did
since
they
I
bottle the
was
Champions
born.
League final to Liverpool?
Yeah,
did they
because
just,
they
like,
gave away a
lose?
penalty in 2 minutes, man. That was bottle job. Their nerves got to them.
See, what I don't
I
like
do
about
think
the bottle
something needs
discussion
to
is
be
that, like,
in your hands to bottle it first. So the title was in
Husam,
our hands. Okay, last season, I gave
talk about
prime
the
example.
Champions League. Stop that league. Wolfie is talking about bottling the Champions League, not the title.
Okay, did
Talk
AC
about the
bottle
Champions
it
League.
against
Thank you very much.
Liverpool
I'd like
3-0
to
up?
talk on MHF because you want to know what MHF stands for? Mo and Husam. So this is the and Husam part. So mute
we're
your
just
mic.
the Fs.
So in order to have some form of bottling, you need to have your hands on something. Hello? So,
Yeah, agreed.
and context matters, even in a knockout competition. I will use the league as an example because it stands. Last season, Arsenal did not bottle the Premier League because they were never top to begin with. Liverpool bottled the Premier League because we were top. And I called it out last season. I said we bottled it. So I'm keeping the same energy. Right now, as things stand, I think all four teams will look at themselves and say, we have a significant chance of winning the Champions League. And even when we talk about favorite and not favorite, it's a matter of 5% difference. So it's going to be 30, 25, 20, 15. I mean, the difference is not that massive, or it's not like someone is such a crystal clear favorite. Like, it's not like it's Liverpool, Sheriff Tiraspol, Steaua Bucharest and Lokomotiv Moscow. Like, that's not what's happening here. It's four teams that are all capable of winning it on their day. So I do think from here on out, because it is the semi-final and because all four have similar chances of winning it, that anyone who loses it from here has bottled it. PSG, as an example, we spoke about PSG, right? PSG, as an example, will look at this as probably their best chance of winning a Champions League because they're not coming up against a seasoned Barcelona in the final or a seasoned Inter. This is not Milito, Eto'o, Cambiaso. And they're not coming up against Barcelona with Messi and Neymar and shit. They're coming up against this version of Barcelona who has Kubarsi at the back that they can exploit. And they look at Arsenal and they go like, okay, I've never won this before. You've never won this before. Let's go. Let's take each other on. Let's see who
You
wins
have
it.
no striker.
So PSG would feel like they have bottled it if they lose it from here. 100%.
And also, just to add to Mo's narrative that's saying you can't bottle a cup competition, did AC Milan bottle at 3-0 up against Liverpool or not?
Yes, they did.
No, you don't understand. I never said you can never bottle. See, changing my words, I'm the master in this on YouTube.
He's the master at
I'm-
yoga.
I never said that. I said
He's
you can,
the one that
and I don't want to just. You can only bottle a cup competition if you are favorites for it. And AC Milan 3-0 up in the final, they're definitely 99% win it. So
99%?
basically, it's one of the biggest bottle job in that.
99.9. Don't
AC
stop
Milan
lying.
is
Stop
the
one
biggest bottle job in the history of
Thank you.
Champions League. The biggest bottle job.
That's the truth.
There is no one ever that came back in the final from a 3-0 down. That never happened.
Okay,
AC
so you
Milan is
can
the
bottle
biggest
it.
bottle
You
job.
can bottle it in a cup competition.
But I never said you cannot.
No, you did, because you
You're not
stopped
gonna catch
talking
me.
about the league
You
and you
never-
said, no, we have to talk about...
Maybe you interrupted me and I couldn't finish. Maybe. And this is why you couldn't
maybe.
hear the last part.
Maybe, okay, I'm glad you clarified.
Maybe you couldn't hear
What
me.
about-
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, though. See,
Yeah,
the
but there's
difference, huh?
plenty of examples of it, isn't there? It's not a one-off with AC. There's been
I
plenty.
don't really like how bottling is used as a weapon against teams that are actually close to succeeding, and then the other teams that are way further away, they've got nothing. That's not even called bottling. It's just called like meh. They get no grief. But the people that get close to success, they get all the heat. So
Yeah,
I
but
don't
that's
understand.
expectation.
I
That's
don't
expectation.
understand when people tell me that we don't expect Arsenal to win it. Yeah, they bottled it. You're not expecting them to win it anyway. You're saying that other teams are better than them, not much, are better than them, and you expect them to bottle it.
hey, we were 0% chance. That's what I told. I'm still on the 0% chance train.
Of winning
What,
it.
what
There's
percent
someone-
are you on now, Martin? What percent?
Realistically, honestly, I'd say 20, 25, somewhere around there.
Everyone
So,
has a 20. Guys, in my opinion, everyone has an equal chance of winning it.
Yeah. No
Everyone.
one's perfect. No one's. I think
No
everyone's got
one.
issues.
That's my opinion. No one is favorites for this competition at the current moment. Everyone can win it, to be honest.
I would say Arsenal are at 50%.
He's changing it, even though he said the others are better than them and they're better than them. Now he changed it to 50%.
Again, you're missing what I said. I said Arsenal are the third best team in this competition, but the team
And they
they're
have
better
50.
than, the team they're better than is PSG. That's the team they have in the semi-final. Therefore, they should make the final, which is why it brings them to around 50%.
That's assuming that we're equal favourites with the person we're meeting in the final. But I would say that Inter is probably my favourite, followed by Barca, PSG, and Arsenal about even.
I'm not sure. I still think that PSG are favorites against Arsenal a little bit, with not because of both teams are better than each other, because the second leg is at Paris, to be honest. And I think that plays a massive factor. Let's do the super chats. We've been here for an hour. Wallahi, this show blown by.
Man,
There's been a lot of waffle.
Very poetic.
Every time I
That's
look at
true.
that team from 05, I have no I understand why they called it the miracle of Istanbul. Honestly, like that team,
Probably
bro.
the thing is,
Maldini, Nesta, Stam, Cafu,
every time I
Gattuso,
look-
Pirlo, Kaka,
Yeah,
Seedorf,
but Hussein,
Shevchenko.
did you
Every
see
time
how
I
many
look at this,
times you encroached in that penalty shootout, bro?
You
Doesn't
encroached.
matter.
It was
That's my
allowed.
point.
back
It was
then.
Man.
allowed. Every time I look at that, I understand why Husam is saying Gerrard is the GOAT. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. You look
Shukran.
at this,
Thank you.
just this game, and I think the AC Milan team versus Sissoko at left back. Did you have Sissoko at left back? What's his
No,
name?
Traore.
Traore at left back.
Harry Kewell was sorry, John Arnerisa was left wing.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous. You had Xabi Alonso though at that game, but if I'm not
Xabi
mistaken.
Alonso didn't even have a mustache yet. Xabi Alonso, he just fucking came, bro. Like that's
Let's do the super chats. Very poetic that Spurs will cement Forest's bottle. Oh my god.
Factually incorrect, but okay.
Doesn't mean you are in a particular position in the Premier League table, you are in a title race. Yeah, that's an opinion, AMT, and I agree with that opinion. Wolfie doesn't. Wolfie thinks that once you're in that position to win the title, mathematically and positionally, you are in a title race.
No, I didn't say that, but anyway.
You did say that.
Let's
No,
not get
I
into
said,
that one.
He
I said
literally said
positionally and mathematically, bro.
I literally said that, by the way. I literally said positionally and mathematically.
Yeah, that one. No, I'm talking about the super chat. That just said positionally. But anyway,
Okay. Never seen someone do so many backflips.
okay. Man, if
He
I could
has
do
no
any
Obafemi
backflips-
Martin's special, the celebration.
Wolfie, you're arguing over semantics consistently. It's boring. Anyway,
go watch
I think it's
something
entertaining.
else. Yeah.
I think it's
I mean, Wolfie is
entertaining.
definitely not boring. Wolfie is everything but boring. There's a
Actually,
reason why a
Wolfie
Forest
is
fan
so
gets on big Premier League shows, bro, because he ain't boring.
He's punching above his weight, that's for sure.
100% he is.
Am I?
All I
Imagine
can
if
tell
Wolfie
you
was
maybe
boring.
for
He'd be
the-
doing streams.
for the
If he's
people that
no,
say-
but he is. If Wolfie was boring, he'd be doing streams with like you get
La,
me,
la,
like,
all I have to tell you
Southampton fan.
guys, if Wolfie is boring, you will not have the whole community of YouTube, no matter who you support.
trying to get him on
One
the
thing,
fucking channel, bro.
wanting Forest to be knocked out of the Champions League top 5, that by definition means he's one of the most entertaining people on YouTube. If Nottingham Forest bumped out of the Champions League position, is no out.
No.
Why not? At least give us some answer, yeah. And the guy spent his hard-earned money. Give us
I
a
did
little
give
bit
you
of a
an
context.
answer. I mean, you're going to put Unai, who's probably going to win manager of the season and still take Forest into Europe from being 17th last season with points deduction. And you're going
Definitely,
to,
if
and Nuno's going to be
Newcastle
out
finish-
on that.
Yeah, number one, definitely. I think now it will be Slot, and if Slot doesn't win it, if Eddie Howe finish in the top 5 or top 4 or whatever, he's gonna win it.
Eddie Howe's out for the rest of the season, man. He's sick. He's got
Wolfie,
pneumonia.
you've got to raise your standards, buddy. You need a new manager to take you guys to the next level.
To win you the
We've
league.
been to that level, bro. You're still trying
No,
to
no,
get
no, no.
to that
Our
level.
fans are saying sack Arteta if he wins the Champions League. This is the standards that you
Yeah, I know,
get up
but
to.
the difference here is 750 mil in 6 years.
How much? did
My
you
man
guys
is
spend
saying
last year?
Odegaard told Rice to cross that free kick, not shoot. Let me tell you something.
So did the coach.
Yeah, as a
Thank
coach.
you. Thank you, Wolfie, at least. Thank you. Jover is the one who told the captain, tell Rice to cross the ball, not shoot.
And then he tried to take credit for it.
Fonzie is saying, Martin, why are you okay with your players being mid?
Got to love Martin.
Well, I think he's a very good player that's out of form. I don't really want to like throw the baby out with the bathwater, if you know that phrase. But some people want to just burn anyone down that plays a bad game.
Big up RSV. Did Nottingham Forest benefit from Chelsea, Newcastle, Man United being crap this year? People said the same about Man United
Under Solskjaer.
under Solskjaer in 2021 and Eric Ten Hag during 22-23 season because they played counter-attacking and bad football. Wolfie, that is for you.
It's amazing how all these super chats are me and they all don't want me on, but okay. Newcastle have not been crap this year. And if it's only Chelsea, Newcastle, and Man U that have been crap, then that would put us 3 positions down. So no, we haven't benefited from them being crap. And when were Chelsea, Spurs, and Man United last very good anyway?
Andrew is saying, my boy Wolfie.
Big up, Sharky. Big up.
Yeah, big up. Emmanuel is saying Wolfie is Forest still finishing above Arsenal.
I hope so.
All right then, here you go. If Brighton in the semis, is it in their hands?
Brighton are not in the semis. We knocked them out.
Brighton are not in the semis.
Yeah, we knocked
Empty
them out.
Brighton not in the semis. Is it in Crystal Palace's hand?
Yes.
All right then. So Crystal Palace will bottle the cup if they don't win it. At
You
least you're
have to add
consistent.
context to it. You have to add context to it.
At least you're consistent. Since AC Milan are the biggest bottlers in the Champions League, that means Liverpool did the biggest remontada in that final. Yeah.
Fair
Yes.
point. Fair point.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
I don't think anyone wants
100%.
to use that remontada word for a while. It's lost its value.
I think
Lost
people
its
now
appeal.
are going to stop saying we're going to do a remontada after what happened. Well, listen, people, this has been a fantastic stream. Forest Fan TV in the description. If you want to go and support Wolfie, great. My channel, Husam's channel, in the description as well, as always. The stream will take you to Carefree Lewis.
MHF
Doing-
raid, chat. No need for us to do anything extra. Just MHF raid. That's it.
MHF rate, copy paste.
Copy paste. I'll be in the chat saying that as well.
As the great
We'll tell him
statement,
enjoy
Wolfie.
conference next season.
Oh my God, if Chelsea play conference next season, oh my word. Yalla, we'll see you guys.
For Europa.
Yeah,
Europa's
we'll see
fine.
you guys.